Microcampus is a once-in-a-lifetime experience where 16 8th graders travel to Xizhou, learn about their selected inquiry topics, make relationships with the people in the village, and discover themselves. We spent 28 days in Xizhou, aiming to achieve 4 goals: expanding intercultural understandings, working through challenges, positive impact, and personal growth. Before we came to Xizhou, we each chose a topic of interest. I chose the topic of bi-minority music. I decided to research this topic because music has always been one of my hobbies, whether it was to play the drum kit or the French horn. Before arriving at Xizhou, we each had to work on choosing, researching, and becoming familiar with our topics, my topic being bi-minority music. At Xizhou, we investigated and had conversations with the locals about our questions. This brings me to my thesis statement. In order to understand bi-minority music in Xizhou, one may consider the preservation of bi-music, the theory of bi-music, and the economics of making music. Mr. Yang, a welcoming musician who I have had conversations with often, told me that to understand and to be part of a minority group, one must know the language and culture of it. Bi-music is a big part of the culture, and many musicians wanted to stay that way. 2 ways of doing this are to perform to entertain others or to teach them. Numerous musical festivals in the village are free to attend, and the musicians almost always perform voluntarily. The Bai people are known for the movie The Five Golden Flowers, a romantic musical film released in 1959. This is another way for others to remember and consider Bai music. I have asked multiple musicians about their opinion on The Five Golden Flowers. They all say that the movie represents Bai music very well. The second way of preserving Bai music is to teach others. Some musicians are not capable or willing to teach others because they do not think they are professional. I found this very surprising. I thought to myself, if they were all passionate about music, why don't they want others to do so as well? Other teachers want to coach others, so the culture of music is passed down. I believe that people who are not willing to teach music are not trying to preserve Bai music and should consider doing so. Western music has taken over the village. Many people told me that there used to be a Bai DVD store, but shut down. Walking down the streets, I can hear 21st century pop music playing in the stores and restaurants. Even the citizens of Xizhou don't care about Bai music as much as pop. Talking to some villagers, I found out that many people's idol is Taylor Swift or some other pop artists. Traditional Chinese sheet music is very different from Western sheet music. Instead of using notes on a staff, they use simplified numbers to represent the notes. This is because traditional Chinese instruments have a limited amount of notes and don't need a 5-line staff. When there is a difference in octaves, lines are added on the bottom of the notes. When the note is 1 octave higher, there is 1 line. If it is 2 octaves higher, there are 2 lines. Another fact I picked up is that Dongjing music uses the pentatonic scale. Although I consider my family as quite musical, no one plays any type of traditional Chinese instrument. This is why I have never encountered such kind of sheet music. At first, I thought it was just for this certain musician or this certain village. But then I eventually understood that this is for all traditional Chinese instruments. Another difference is the fact that most pieces are played in 2/4 instead of 4/4, which is funny because Westerners call 4/4 time common time. I wonder whether 2/4 is common time to Chinese instrument musicians. Musicians do not make a lot of money because most don't need to. Most musicians in Xizhou are retired and play music with family or friends for fun. Mr. Zhang, another musician I had a conversation with, is in an ensemble with only elders that are about 70 to 80 years old. From everyone interviewed, there wasn't anyone younger than 60. I found this fact very surprising because I expected there to be more youthful people making a living from teaching people music, or more like Shanghai. Mr. Yang told me that musicians can make little money from an invited performance, but not enough to make a living. Music is just a hobby for most people, and for most people, it's about having fun and enjoying the music they play. There's a way of making money as a musician, and that is being a tutor. In Xizhou, there's an academy for learning music. Although the academy teaches Bai music and traditional Chinese instruments, it also teaches Western instruments such as the piano or the violin. In fact, being a music teacher or a tutor can make more money than opening up a restaurant. In just these few weeks at Xizhou, I learned a lot. not only about my inquiry topic, but also about how to make connections in the village and myself. If there is another experience like this in the future, I would want to go without a doubt. As for my inquiry topic, I learned what the people in the village are doing to preserve the music. I learned how a musician can make money, and I learned a little about the basics of playing the sanxian and reading sanxian music. I do think the topic of music isn't as good as I thought it would be. I thought that music would be more prevalent in this village, much more popular than reality. Overall, I still believe that microcampus is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I encourage future students to attend the program.